just can't agree on anything. I think it points to problems in the marriage.
Kardashians, who are apparently very upset to do with the drama surrounding what is now being called Photogate.
So, tell me why Harry and Meghan finally get into a real holiday party and somehow still manage to make it the most awkward night of the year. I mean, Kris Jenner opened the door to them for her big birthday bash. Jeff Bezos' mansion, A-listers everywhere, and you would think they'd play it cool, but no. By the time photos started coming out, people were already waiting, and just as suspected, not a single Sussex was in sight. By the time the second batch of photos were posted, there was Harry looking like he wandered into the wrong party, and Meghan trying to fake a smile that didn't reach her eyes.
They have definitely ruined their relationship with the Kardashians.
There's so much to unpack here, so let's get into it. You know what gets me every single time? The way Meghan tries so hard to look unbothered while doing the most to get into circles she claims she doesn't care about, and this Kris Jenner birthday party was the perfect example, because girl, they wanted that invite. I mean, really wanted it. People in Hollywood have been whispering for months that Meghan had been angling for a way into that Kardashian orbit, and honestly, you could feel it the second they walked in. Meghan looked like she was finally stepping into the life she thought she deserved, and Harry looked like he needed a map. The party itself was stunning. Jeff Bezos' mansion glowing like some kind of billionaire Disneyland. Celebrities everywhere. The kind of people Meghan probably practiced small talk for in the mirror. So the first round of party photos goes up. Gorgeous lighting, perfect angles, everyone looks incredible, and guess who is nowhere in sight? Not even blurred in the background. Harry and Meghan.
The Kardashians deleting photos that include Harry and Meghan.
I swear you could almost hear Meghan's spirit leave her body, because within hours, new photos appeared. Suddenly, there she was, pressed up next to Kim like they've been best friends for 10 years, and Harry, Lord, Harry looked like the one person at the bar who keeps telling you he's having fun, even though you can tell he is 2 sips away from calling an Uber. His face said confusion, his body said Chardonnay, it was a lot. And the worst part is, these photos were not flattering in the way Meghan probably had imagined. You could see the tension in her smile, the stiffness in her posture. It looked like she wanted that moment so badly that she forgot to look natural. They finally got the invite they begged for, then somehow managed to make it look like they snuck in through the kitchen.
Kris Jenner posts a whole selection of images from the birthday party, and guess what? The Duke and Duchess of Delusion do not feature.
The funniest part of this whole thing is how fast everything fell apart, because those awkward photos barely had time to breathe before people started noticing something strange. One minute they were up, and the next minute they were gone. Vanished, almost like they never happened. And here's the thing, every other celebrity photo stayed exactly where it was. Kim left up her picture with Paris Hilton, Kris kept all her shots with the actual A-listers, and nobody else's images moved. Only the ones with Meghan and Harry disappeared. It kind of tells you everything you need to know. Hollywood insiders are saying the takedown came straight from the Sussexes. Apparently they wanted to hide behind the whole Remembrance Day excuse, as if anyone believes that. Meghan did not even wear a poppy at the party. Harry had one on, but you could tell he slapped it on like a last-minute accessory. The idea that either of them was suddenly overcome with patriotic concern is almost cute.
Meghan and Harry might learn a lesson here that you never steal a Kardashian's thunder.
People started dragging them online within minutes. It was brutal. Comment after comment calling them dramatic, entitled, or just plain embarrassing, and honestly, this is exactly what made the deletion look worse. If the pictures had stayed up, the internet would have had its laugh and moved on, but scrubbing them only made everyone stare harder. It told people that the Sussexes were panicking about how they looked, and nothing attracts attention faster than a celebrity trying too hard to hide something. Once again, they proved that they craved the spotlight. Until the spotlight hits them the wrong way, then it's delete, 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 delete.
In the second rung of guests, Kris Jenner decides to include a couple of horrendous pictures of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, one where he looks awkward as hell, clearly drunk.
The thing that keeps coming up in all of this is how Meghan and Harry never seemed aligned on anything, especially recently. You can see it in every public moment. There's this tiny tug of war happening behind their smiles. It's like watching two people pretend they are on the same page while silently passing blame back and forth. Hollywood insiders say the photo fiasco at Kris Jenner's party is just the latest example. Meghan wanted the photos. She needed the validation. She finally got herself next to Kim Kardashian, and she was not about to let that moment slip away. Harry, on the other hand, hated how he looked, and honestly, I get it. He looked like a man who thought he was going to a casual dinner and somehow ended up in a Bond-themed party with everyone watching him. Then there is the ongoing tension about what they show and when they show it. The pumpkin patch video drama made that clear. Meghan shows the kids' faces, Harry freaks out. Suddenly, the footage gets edited, but the internet had already seen it. It's the same playbook here. Meghan gets the visibility she wanted, and Harry tries to clean it up afterward. Their marriage does not look like a partnership anymore. It looks more like two people fighting over a brand that keeps slipping through their fingers.
I was told by my insiders that nobody actually knew who invited Meghan and Harry.
Now, here is where things get messy in a way only Hollywood can deliver. People stopped asking why the pictures were deleted. They started asking whether Harry and Meghan were even supposed to be at that party in the first place, and honestly, the more you look at it, the more the whole night starts to feel suspicious. First of all, they came straight from the baby-to-baby gala. No downtime, no planned transition. It honestly looked like they wrapped up one event and thought, you know what, why not slide into Kris Jenner's birthday too? As if Jeff Bezos casually keeps an open door policy for anyone with a Netflix contract. Then you look at the guest list. Kris and Kim had their usual orbit. Paris Hilton, longtime friends, real power players. The kind of people who actually show up because they belong there. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan have no known connection to Kris, Kim, Bezos, or Lauren Sanchez. Not a single one. So Hollywood asked the question out loud. If they were truly invited, why were their photos the only ones that got deleted? Why not a single picture with Kylie or Kendall or any of the A-list actors? Why did their arrival look tense instead of welcoming? You see, people in that world can smell desperation the way sharks smell blood. And it was clear immediately that Harry and Meghan did not belong there. Maybe they showed up hoping to get photographed next to the right people, or maybe they just wanted to be the drama. Either way, it didn't end well for them.
Harry and Meghan aren't happy about it. And so they do a total reverse ferret and start demanding that Kris Jenner and the Kardashians remove all the pictures.
The funniest part of this whole saga is how quickly Harry and Meghan learned that Hollywood runs on a totally different hierarchy. Because they walked into that party acting like their old titles still meant something, and Hollywood looked at them the same way it looks at every new couple trying to reinvent themselves, with a polite smile and a quiet side-eye. Take Beyoncé for example. She arrived without a single paparazzi flash. No noise, no drama. She came through a private entrance because the hosts wanted her to. That is what real power looks like. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan were caught on camera walking up the driveway like they were waiting for security to check their names. You could almost see the realization on their faces. This was not the royal balcony in London. This was an A-list environment where their old status meant nothing. People inside the industry say this night was a painful wake-up call for Harry. He grew up at the top of a social pyramid. He never had to wonder where he stood, but in Hollywood, he's not the prince. He's just a guy with a complicated past and a podcast that never happened. And Meghan, well, she looked like she was trying to act unfazed, but the tension in her smile said everything. This was the night they discovered the truth. The Kardashians are Hollywood royalty. Beyoncé is Hollywood royalty, and Harry and Meghan are not. They wanted to climb into a world they thought they belonged to, but instead of being treated like equals, they were treated like guests, temporary ones, and that realization hit harder than any deleted photo ever could.
Harry sobered up and realised it wasn't a good look with his family at all of the remembrance events, and he was partying at something like this, wearing a poppy. But then this is Harry. When has he ever stopped and had a moment of self-reflection?
The moment the deletion drama started, every insider in Hollywood said the same thing. Meghan and Harry picked the worst possible family to boss around. Because the Kardashians might smile for photos and sip champagne with you, but they are not the type of women you tell what to do. Especially not on their Instagram pages. According to the leaks, Meghan and Harry personally asked Kris and Kim to take the photos down, and they did it with that polite tone people use when they want to sound sweet but still get their way. The problem is, Kris Jenner does not take requests from newcomers who have not earned their place at the table. Her entire empire is built on controlling her own narrative. She is not handing that over to two people who cannot even keep their own brand together.
The only remaining picture of Meghan on Kim Kardashian's Instagram is that one.
Hollywood insiders say Kris was annoyed. Not angry in a dramatic way, more in that cold, quiet way successful women get when someone oversteps. The kind of irritation you feel when someone tries to use your platform to fix their own problems, and from what people are saying, she made her decision instantly. If Meghan and Harry want control, they can have it somewhere else. After that, the mood shifted. People in the industry noticed the story. They noticed the entitlement. They noticed the pattern. And nobody in Hollywood wants to deal with a couple who show up, demand edits, and then pretend it is about something noble. Trying to control the Kardashians is like trying to control a tidal wave. It never works, and it always leaves you looking smaller than you were before.
They are always conflicting with each other about things that they're supposed to do together as a team, and they can't agree. They can't seem to find any way to move together.
Now let's talk about Harry. Because while Meghan was busy posing like her life depended on it, Harry looked like a man who got dragged into a world he never asked for and then tried to cope with it by sipping whatever was poured into his glass. Those party photos showed everything he probably did not want the world to see. His face was flushed in that way people get when the room feels a little too warm or the wine feels a little too strong. His eyes were unfocused, his smile looked like something he practiced in the car but could not hold together under pressure. And to make the whole thing worse, people swear he was staring directly at Kris Jenner's chest in one of the shots. Whether he meant to or not, the internet ran with it faster than he could blink. Insiders say Harry hated the photos the moment he sobered up. That was the real reason he pushed for them to come down. Not Remembrance Day, not optics, just embarrassment, and honestly, it fits. He looked uncomfortable from the moment they arrived. He looked like someone who wanted a quiet night at home but got dragged into Meghan's Hollywood checklist. By the end of the night, Meghan was glowing with forced confidence. Harry looked like he wanted to disappear, and when those pictures resurfaced online, you could tell who cared about appearances and who cared about not looking like a man who lost control of his own story.
And they are now also playing victim because sources have spoken to media outlets saying that Harry and Meghan are furious with the Kardashians because they signed a disclaimer to say that they did not want their photographs to be taken.
Now, if things were already bad for them inside that party, Remembrance Day turned everything into a full disaster. Because the second people realized the photo takedown happened on the same weekend the royal family was out honoring veterans, the internet lit them up like it was a sport. Charles, Camilla, and Catherine were standing in the cold wearing poppies, showing respect in that quiet way people actually appreciate. Meanwhile, Meghan and Harry were at a billionaire's Bond-themed party, smiling under chandeliers, and Meghan did not even bother wearing a poppy. Harry had one pinned on, but it looked like something he reached for on the way out the door.
And I think it also points to a problem with Harry not wanting to be in these photos.
Once the backlash hit, Meghan tried a little damage control. Suddenly, there was a polished Instagram post about honoring those who served. She quoted Harry in that dramatic way she does when she wants to sound meaningful. She attached a soft filter, she pretended the weekend had been all about reflection, but people saw right through it. The timing made everything worse, like she was trying to erase the image of her sipping champagne at Bezos' mansion while the royal family stood in silence. This was not a respectful tribute, it was a reaction, and reactions always reveal the truth. Meghan was worried about optics, everyone else was focused on the moment, and that difference said everything.
Meghan has a habit of doing this. Last time she was in New York, her hairdresser, her makeup guy, took a video of her getting ready for this event and posted it. Poof, it disappeared.
So, that is where things stand right now. One birthday party, one set of deleted photos, and somehow Harry and Meghan managed to turn the whole night into another headline about their life drama. It's almost impressive at this point. You give them a room full of power players and they walk out with a public feud and a fresh wave of Hollywood side-eye. But trust me, this story's not done. The Kardashians do not forget, and Meghan does not let anything go. So go ahead and hit like, subscribe, and stay close, because if this is how their Hollywood chapter is starting, imagine what comes next.